So welcome back to Dig It Detecting, everybody. Welcome also to an old abandoned race course, and this is one that I've been researching for the last 3 years, and I have been out here detecting just the once with the EQUINOX 800. I was detecting up at an old sports oval up the road. I happened to get speaking to an old fella up there named Mick, and Mick said to me, mate, why don't you go down and check out the old race course, which is exactly where I'm standing right now. And that was about, as I said, 2 years ago. We did come down here with the EQUINOX 800. We did try for a few coins and relics and what have you to try and prove that the race course was actually here. Well, I'll tell you what, we did not have any success there a couple of years ago with the 800. I will say too, I did not put all that much time and effort in either. And look, same story today. I have not put that much time and effort in, and we've literally just walked through the gate and we're sort of wandering around. I do have the big 11-inch coil on today. As you can see, it's a huge space to cover, so we need to cover as much ground as we can. But I'm just sort of humming around where I left off with the 800. I did find some concrete foundations over there, and a lot of rubbishy targets, you know, leading over to here with the horseshoe button on. A lot of rubbishy targets. Well, I'll tell you what, it has paid off, because look at that. We've just walked ourselves onto a nice high signal, which I thought was going to be a rue penny. It was a 70, 77, 78 jumping around there on the EQUINOX 900. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure what we have just yet. ACPTS I don't know. With the two rifles crossed over together, I do not want to go cleaning them up too much just yet. I think toothbrush and water will be key for this item, so we will do that once home. I tell you what though, we're here to look for the pennies and the silvers and anything dating back to the old race course from the early 1900s. But that there is a magnificent piece to hit on to start us off today. So as I said, the old concrete foundation's just over that way a little bit further. We're going to continue going out into the paddock though a little bit further, a little bit more. So who knows, maybe there was a rifle club here at a later date. So very special piece into the pouch. We're going to move you on to the next, and hopefully, as I said, we can find some coins and relics dating back to the racecourse days. So after finding that badge, I am quite excited to see what else I can find. I'm just sort of wandering around having a bit of a look too, because I've spotted a bit of glass and bricks and rocks in amongst this boxthorn hedge. Also a few bullet shells laying on the surface. Remember, we found that hunting badge, or the rifle club badge, I presume it is. ACPTSA. I think that's what I said. But look, it's just sort of caught my attention. I've set the detector down just for a second. We've got some steel pegs drove into the ground there, some steel droppers I should say. And then the next thing that caught my attention as I was walking along were all the rabbit holes here. But then it led me on to see more concrete foundations. Remember, we've got some other foundations sitting over the back there. So look, I don't know if these are related to the race course, early 1900s. It looks like quite old concrete as opposed to the new concrete over the back there, or whether they were related to the rifle club, I don't know. So a lot of the old race courses though, they end up, some of the land, you know, some of the race courses end up turning into old rifle clubs not too long after all the racing ceased to happen, so ceased to exist. So just interesting, you got to check these things out just very quickly. I'm going to venture away from here though, because it is very trashy. I'm finding a lot of bullet shells, as I said, low 20 signals, and a lot of scrap iron and tin scattered around. So I'm going to get away from here, because if this was concrete foundations for the rifle range, or even for the grandstand, or something to do with the race course, ideally the crowd would have been out there. So we need to get out into the paddock and see if we can pluck out a few more coins, or a coin to begin with. We've only got that awesome brooch so far. I tell you what, I'm not complaining though. So we've nearly made it out into the paddock. However, I do have a nice signal before we get out into the area that the farmer's been cropping. You can see the difference there. You see where the grass has all been laying down, pushed over by the wind. And then there's sort of a bit of a line where the tractor's been running, and running the seeder driller through the ground, putting in that next crop. So we're not out into the paddock just yet. But look at that. 72, 73, 69, a couple of bars of depth, and that very small diameter pinpointing range. You can almost put him right down to being just there in that small little area. So I'm hoping that's going to be a coin, our first coin. We'll see how we go. It'd just be great to hit on something dating back to this racecourse. I said I've never ever found a coin here. I've never really found anything good here. That little pendant brooch that came out before was the first item, first best item that I've ever pulled here. So it's got me excited, as I said, and I'll be very keen to see what else we can hit on. Because there was, oh yes, there was activity here, and there we go. There we go. Look at that. Our first coin for this site all together, and he's going to be a little threepence, a little silver coin, of course. That Equinox 900 is a silver magnet, and as I said, that short, sharp, pinpointing signal is exactly what you're listening for in amongst all that rubbish. So, wow, what a great tip from the local bloke that I got talking to a couple of years ago. Had to come up here, had to come up and check out the racecourse, because as I said, I had no idea it was here. Look at that. That is just awesome. 1943, a little wheat threepence. Oh wow. And as I said, our first silver, had to prove that, you know, activity was going on in this paddock. You know, racecourse I know was here. We had no idea about the rifle range later, but finding that badge is making me presume that that is what took place later, the rifle range coming in. So who knows, 1943, it could be from the hunting shooting days, where they were throwing targets out and shooting them at the rifle range here, because the racecourse actually is a little bit earlier than that. The racecourse was sort of more around the early 1900s through to about the 1930s, when the Great Depression kicked in. A lot of race courses, you know, a lot of race clubs, you know, for example, 1930s, a lot of race courses, racing clubs, they ran out of money. You know, people didn't have the money to go to race days, and race clubs, you know, after the 30s and the Depression, a lot of the race clubs and race courses, they ceased to exist. The clubs closed and ran out of money, and you know, it just did not, you know, they put on race days and it just did not happen again. It just did not follow through. So like it was in the earlier days. Listen to this guy. I think he's been brought up with the plough. He's up on that bit of a mound of dirt there, 71, 72. That could be another little silver coin. I thought I seen something then. Let's get the pinpointer out, because that will help us tell a story, won't it? We're not just seeing things, we're hearing things. He's right in that spot. There he is there. Let's go after him with the fingers, because the dirt is nice and soft. It's getting ploughed every year. So we can easily make our way down to that coin. Look at that. Oh. Is that a shilling? Or a little halfpenny? He's got so much dirt on him. These flies are crazy too. They're loving me out in this paddock. Oh my God. There we go. Second silver coin. We've not even found a penny yet. I think we've only dug one nail, one bit of rubbish. So, and there it is, our second coin for the day, 1950, a ram head shilling. Wow. There's going to be a florin here, you know. There is going to be a florin. We're going to find it. 85 are the numbers to look out for a florin on the Equinox 900. I said we're going to nail a florin today. This paddock is awesome. One thing I will say though is I think I might have to go put the little 6-inch sniper coil on, because I am having trouble getting through all this crop, you know, this dry stuff. I don't even know what it is, but maybe wheat, I don't know. It's all just stubble now. It's all been harvested. So wow, I'm super excited. 1950 ramhead shilling. And we also scored that little wheat threepence there before. And as you see, we went down to that guy with our fingers. It is that easy. The shovel's sitting here behind me doing nothing. Wow, that is awesome. All right, let's keep going that way and find some more. So who wants to hear a cracker signal? Well, not just one, two. Listen to this. In between the stubble, we've got this guy, which, look, could be a florin. He's got the high numbers. But listen to this one. That is a florin. 87, 88. If Luke was here, I'd tell him it's a Gothic florin. Let's dig him up first, because it could well be. That is an incredible signal, and so is the other one just over there. I'm more keen to go after this guy first. Everything here is sitting on the surface too. It's all been ploughed up in amongst the stubble. Just awesome. Look at that. He's sitting on the top of the surface. It's a bit harder here though, we might have to use the shovel. Let's actually put it to work, shall we? Just a little plug. I'm sure we're going to get a coin out of this. It sounds so damn good. Oh yeah. A few bullet shells in between, but there is our next coin. Oh, he's magnificent. But what is he? I'm thinking penny, just by the size and the look. Everything's so dirty here though, it's so dusty. Look at that. I'm gonna have to wash my jeans tonight. Yeah, George on the back. I can see copper colouring. That be a rue penny. There we go. And most of everything that we're finding, as you'll notice, is around the 1940s, 1950s. That guy there I think is about 42. 40, let's have another rub. Maybe 41. There we go, 1941. Australian rue penny, and look at the condition, would you? Just that nice sandy dusty soil is just magnificent. It's a very dry part of the world out here. So now let's go after that second signal. I was going to say we might be able to hit on him. Maybe that's our florin. Maybe that's our Gothic florin, Luke. I tell you what, Luke would love this site if he was here right now. Just amazing. I don't know why I did not get here back here with the 800 years ago and really give it a good go. That's my own fault, isn't it? So that's all right. We're here today and we can get back here again in future and give it another really good go. So there we go. Not a coin, that one. Bit of a shame. I can't be too greedy. 2 silvers and a little copper. Only a couple of bits of rubbish. I think we're doing exceptionally well. Let's continue on through the stubble and see if we can pluck out a few more coins. As I said, we may have to go change over that coil very shortly and opt for the 6-inch to try and get through the runs. So there we go, we've got our next one. It did not take too long, about another 10 minutes between targets, and we have dug another few more bullets. I am sort of heading over to that brown patch there with that little a 20-litre drum stuck up on the steel dropper, and the reason being is because I found, if I spin you around, I found another one over there. I happened to walk over to it, and it was an old foundation, you know, an old pit, which I don't really know what was used for, but it's got glass bottles and rocks and tin and wire and you name it. It's all in there, so I'm curious to go over and check out that second one. See if it's exactly the same, or you know, if there's some intact bottles there, who knows. You've just got to check these things out. So we'll make our way over there slowly with the detector, and then I think it's time to put the 6-inch coil on, because to be honest, I don't want to do any damage with the big 11, and it's really hard to get between all this stubble. As you can see, it's pretty strong, and you really can't be breaking it off with the coil and swinging through it. It will damage the coil, so we don't want to be doing that. Let's get this guy out. Hopefully another little silver coin. He's not going to be our florin. He was not a high enough number. Who knows though? Could be. Not a coin. That's it. That's 100% our target. Is it a shaver head? Rub, 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 rub. Get the dirt off him. What is that? There's a little nameplate or something. I found a nameplate years ago. I researched this property. And the lady's name was Margaret, who owned the land. Funnily enough, she also ran the pub up the road for all the gold miners. She must have been a tough old lady. And long story short, I was hunting Margaret's property, where her old house used to be. I found a name badge, or a badge just like this, and lo and behold, it had Margaret's name on it. So just incredible. The fact that, you know, I knew that was her property. Margaret's property, and then to find her name badge, which probably come from the old pub, you know. She probably wore it to the pub every day to let the miners know what her name was. Margaret. So really, really cool when you can connect that research with that history. I think it's just fascinating. So I can see an A, a C, and maybe a T, and I can definitely see what looks like reg or something down the bottom, REG. So who knows, it may be a registration plate or a cattle tag, or maybe it says breed. B-R-E-E-D, breed. Something. We're going to know more once we clean him up. Toothbrush and water will be key on that item, like a few others, especially that old hunting brooch. with the rifles crossed over together. ACPTSA, I think it was, which I cannot wait to check out. So anyway, onwards to the plastic bucket and see what else we can find. Well, we've made it over here, and I'm really not seeing what I've seen there before at the other one. There was like a big, as I said, a big concrete pit. There we go though. We found a tube in the ground. Let's not drop the phone down there, shall we? It's obviously marked off though. Oh, there we go. Some foundations, footing foundations. It's obviously been marked off though for a reason. Obviously for the tractor not to drive over here, damage its equipment. So it's all been cut off. Something was mounted there though. Maybe an old water tank. Maybe a water tank that fed a bit of water over to the racecourse. While we're up here too, we're just going to check out over in that back corner, because I can see a boxthorn hedge and a little bit of other stuff that I'd like to check out. And let's face it, we're over this far anyway. Let's go have a look ski. It's very hard with this stubble. Generally it does get burnt off, but they mustn't have burnt it off this year, or maybe they're still waiting to burn it off. Look at all the crickets. Well, not so many more now, but as you walk through that area there, there's crickets galore. Oh, look at that. Well, that was worth walking over to, and I did not even see that. There we go. That's why it's important to check these sites out properly. We have some concrete foundations. Where there's foundations, let's sit the detector down for a second. Where there's foundations, there was obviously a building or activity. Oh, look at that sheet of tin. I bet you I know what's underneath that. Let's stay away from it. Let's walk around it. Cool little thing. Maybe hooked up to the plumbing of the toilet. There you go. We're standing on the old concrete foundations, which could have been the grandstand or part of, you know. You've got a magnificent view up here. You're sort of up on an incline too. So you imagine horse track, or, you know, a race course in front of us and the horses galloping around. This would be an ideal place to stand, wouldn't it? It's going to be an ideal place to run the detector around, that's for certain. Hole there, square hole there. More tin with snakes under it. Stay away from that. There we go, we've got some cool stuff. Bottle! What is that? I don't know. That's not old. MBCV, not old at all. So look, we're just going to have a bit more of a walk around, and then we're going to jump on the detector right in front of the concrete foundations there, because I think it's going to pay off. So where there's concrete foundations, as I said, that does mean a building. A building means activity. So let's get on the detector and let's see how we go. Well, working around this area, we have got a lot of rubbish. So that means occupation. Once again, as I said, where there's foundations, there was occupation, and the rubbish supports that theory, or that, you know, that presumption. There is just a ton of rubbishy targets around here. This being our first high signal though, which I thought might be worth digging together and having a bit of a look at what he is. That's not going to be it. That's wire. As I said, we've got a lot of stuff going on around here. Let's clear all that loose leaf litter away. I'm sure our high signal is still there. So let's swing back over him again and let's see if we can pinpoint him a little bit more direct. Everywhere. That is a huge signal. It's likely to be a bit of tin or what have you. We're just going to stick the shovel in and see what we come out with. Look at that, another target. Targets everywhere. This may not be the ideal spot for us to be right now, because as I said, we are only just sort of sussing out what's going on at this ground today. There we go, large can. And so just sort of looking at what's happening at this ground today, we are trying to suss out where the hot spots are, where the grandstand was. I know there was a racecourse in this paddock, but to be honest, I don't even know where it's sat. You know, this is a huge paddock. This could hold 4 racecourses. So maybe we're way off the mark. Maybe we need to be a lot further out, or even up at the other corner, the other end of the paddock. And it also is a bit hard, a bit challenging, this site. The reason being is because we have no old trees to go off. If you notice in the background there, we've only got very young trees, you know, only up to probably a 50, 60 year old, some of these guys. And the reason being is because there has been 2 fires that have burnt this township out in the past. One in the 70s, so probably not long after the 70s bushfire, where it burnt out the row of pine trees here. That's probably when they come in and put the sugar gums in there. So as said, it does make it a bit challenging. We do not have any old trees to really go off, and the boxthorn hedge is old, but that will spring up after a fire, no worries. So I'm sure it was planted once upon a time and the fire cleared it out, but it's back again today, and it really gives us no reference point. What we need is the big old pines, you know, around the concrete foundations, and you could safely say those pine trees are 150 years old and they date back to the racecourse, and there is the grandstand right there with the foundations. So all stuff to take into account. As I said, this may not be the ideal spot for us right now, especially with the big coil and being such a trashy area. We probably need to get back here with a 6-inch, which I think we'll go over and put on now, and try and get back out into the paddock and find those silver coins, including the florin. So before we go put that 6-inch coil on and really give this ground a good go for the afternoon, we do have our next signal. Oh, we got stuff everywhere. Get off. Let's give you a listen. Sounds very similar to that little threepence there we got before to start us off, doesn't it? Our first coin. Once again, a very tiny, short, sharp pinpointing sound. Let's see if we can scratch him out with our fingers. He's in between the rows. So he may be a little bit deeper than what we're expecting. Yeah, we still got to go down a bit further. And we're not going to get there with our fingers. Alright, let's stick the shovel in. We know where to aim, and I'm sure we're going to get him out in one scoop. Oh, yes, another coin. Isn't that awesome? And, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not just another coin. Oh my God. That's our second silver ramhead shilling for the day. How often does that happen? I call these the most rarest coins, really, rarer than the florins. It's pretty common to get a couple of florins in a day. Well, not that common, but it does happen every so often. To get 2 ramhead shillings in a day, I tell you what, that is a good day, because that does not happen very often at all. You've seen there, we got the 1950 one before. This one's a little bit earlier. I said 71, 72. Singing up very similar. That's that little threepence also. Oh, that is awesome. 1942, I think I can see. And these are going to clean up so nice once home. Wow, 2 ramhead shillings in a day. That is awesome. That is just awesome. That's our 3rd silver coin. We have not even put the 6-inch coil on yet. Imagine what that's going to do. So let's do that now. Let's get over. And we're going to come back. As I said, we're going to really work this area and see what else is hiding, including try to get that florin. We'll see how we go. So you know how we said we were going to put the 6-inch coil on? Well, we still haven't. But look at that, we've got our next signal. I can't walk away from this area. It is producing so nicely. So I'm just sort of persevering at the moment. That 6-inch coil is going to make life a lot easier though. The reason why I'm sort of persevering with the 11-inch though is some of this stubble out here. Let me just show you quickly. I've sort of been walking my way out to the paddock and then back into that little tree line. What I've done is I've turned the sensitivity right up on the Equinox 900, and I'm actually swinging above all the stubble. I'm not swinging through it. Imagine how hard that'd be. It'd break the coil. So I'm swinging above it, and that's how I'm picking up on these targets. So that is quite impressive. I am swinging about the depth, or the height of the pinpointer I should say, just across through the tips of these little stubble of wheat, and I'm picking up on these targets just by doing that. So quite amazing the depth that the 11-inch coil gets. So now let's see what this 92 is. Oh, well, ripped off. I was thinking I'm going to have to dig for that guy. Had no idea he was sitting on the surface. That's our target though, 100%. That's just a bit of slag, burnt off, melted alloy, I presume. Very light. Let's run the coil over, give you a listen. Wasn't sure what a 92 was going to be. There he is, 92. 92 for a bit of alloy slag. Into the pouch, and we're headed towards the car. Another one to get excited about, a 75 this time. There's nothing to say that could not be. Another ramhead shilling. Geez, they like to lose their money out here, didn't they? Let's go after him. I seen 2-3 bars of depth on the screen, so we're just going to go straight in with the shovel for this guy. He's not going to be our florin once again. The numbers are not correct. Unless he's a bit of a later type florin where they reduce the silver content. He could be going down to the 70 range, especially when in the ground. The numbers change, remember? You sit a target on top of the surface there, it'll be different to what it is when it's buried. All about the depth, the orientation, the soil content, it all plays a role in it. Right, we're going to have a little Kinder Surprise. No, not in that one. Did we lose him? I think I see a coin. I think I do. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, wow. Another silver coin. They really, as I said, like to lose the money out here, didn't they? And this one's going to be another little threepence. Wow. Wow. Look at the condition. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm seeing. Now that is a stunner of a coin. Little 1921 Australian coat of arms, threepence design there, and look at the detail. That is just amazing, just amazing. Oh wow, he was not circulated too long, this guy, before being dropped, that's for certain. He is in cracker condition. We'll clean up very, very nice once home too. Let's look at this side again, the nice side, the pretty side. 1921, little threepence, how magnificent is that? 4th, 5th, silver, 1 penny, 1 badge, a few bullet shells, and 1 chopped up or 1 flattened, squashed old Coke can or some sort of soft drink can. We are having an exceptional day. Now, I mean it, let's go put that 6-inch coil on and really let's hammer this ground and see if we can't walk out of here with a florin also. So here's another signal we best not walk past. This was a 60, jumping around a bit there, 65, 68. On the Equinox 900 there. We're way off target too. Where is he? There he is. I was digging way off there. I rushed that pinpointing a little bit. So he's actually in front of where I thought he was. Starting to heat up too. Might have to get the jumper off. Oh, yes. Again. This is just turning into a crazy day. Look at that. We've got another little silver coin. That be it, another little threepence. Our 3rd threepence for the day. That is just magnificent. And I'm still yet to get back to the car too. I am getting there. I know I've said it about 100 times, but I just can't help myself and I just keep plucking these signals and I can't walk away from them. So we need to dig them. Get them out of the ground and save them and show you guys. 1917, this guy. Look out, I think we're getting earlier. I think he's 1917 or 1927. Another early coat of arms design. There we go, 1927. So getting a little bit later. The last one was a 1921. I really want to find something, dating right around 1900 or 1903 or, something even English going back into the 1800s. But that is still awesome because, as I said, the Racecourse was here from about 1900s through to about the 1930s. That's the 1927. That most likely was lost on one of the race days. So there we go. We are hitting on the money, aren't we? Right, car time now. 6-inch coil. I'm even going to turn the machine off. We're walking straight back and we'll come back. As I said, really hammer this ground. See if we can find that big daddy florin. Well, we just stopped there for a break. As you can see, the car over in the background. And not only that, what you did not just see is we had the leaseholder come here which is Mick, who actually gave me, or put me onto this permission to begin with. And I showed him what we'd found, the ramhead shillings, the old hunting badge, and he did confirm, yes mate, you're right, the old rifle range took place of the racecourse after the race days ended. Anyway, that was really cool to catch up with Mick and show him what we found. And we had a drink. We've now changed over coils, walking back out into the paddock. As you can see, we're not far away from the car. Walking back out into the paddock though, we've got our next signal. He could be another little threepence. I said to Mick too, you don't mind that I'm still, I'm back out here, mate. Like, I haven't been here for a couple of years. You don't mind? It's still okay for me to detect. And he said that is fine. That'll be perfectly fine. And we've done a lot up at the rec reserve, which is the caretaker for also. We've done a lot down at the local creek too, the swimming hole where the kids used to swim. And Mick sort of put me onto all those places. He's sort of grown up in the area. And he sort of said to me, mate, this is where we used to swim as kids, and this is where the racecourse was. And he even said to me when he first approached me, I'll never forget it, he walked up to me and said, how many of my old coins have you found that I lost back in the day? It sort of took me by surprise. Most people say hello to begin with. And Mick just walked up and said, how many of my coins you found? Oh, yes, another one. Well, there you go, Mick. This one may be yours too, mate. He dropped as a kid. He said he used to go steal coins off his dad for lollies at race day and what have you. And then he'd go spend them on cigarettes. So, and go hide up the back, he said, with his mates and have a smoke. Good on you, Mick. And there we go. Oh no, we've kissed him with the shovel too. I didn't mean to do that. We've chopped off the kangaroo's head. There we go though, our earliest coin, as soon as we swapped over the coil, a little 1918 threepence. And as I said, that is our fourth one now. About 6 silver coins have come out of this site so far, and only 1 penny. So just a magnificent day today. And to be honest, I don't really mind if I get the florin or not. I keep mentioning that it'd be nice to get one, because I'm sure there's one here. You do not get that many silver coins and pennies and just pre-decimals in general without there being a big old florin hiding here somewhere. And that is what I'd really like to hit on. So can't be greedy though. We've had an exceptional day, morning already, and I'm sure it's just going to get better. And now we've opted for that little 6-inch coil. Let's keep cracking along. Well, we're in the rough for the next one. We've got stuff everywhere. It's such a nice sounding signal though. We've got to dig him out. We've just got to clear that ground out a bit first, make it a bit easier. 74.75. 2 bars of depth. You know what I'm thinking straight away, don't you? 3 ramhead shillings. Let's have a look. We'll just sit the detector down on the bed of wheat there. It has not been chopped. Hopefully we don't chop this next coin. It's a bit of a shame to hit a coin, especially that last silver threepence. I try to avoid them. Try to dig well clear. However, you do hit a few. It's been a while since I've hit a coin too. A shame that it was a silver one, but that's okay. It is what it is. So here we go, next little find. I'll just bounce him out there. We've got a little buckle, or a little brooch of some description. And look at that, it's got some ornate design on it. So not a coin, that guy. Nice to be finding something different though. And that is definitely different. Very pretty. Very nice. One for the tumbler, maybe just gently. Maybe tumble him around for 5 minutes in the rocks. And he would clean up very, very nice. We just have to be careful we don't break that little pin off in the centre. That is a great piece. Not a coin, but still a great piece. Our second target with the little 6-inch coil. We are doubling up on targets once again. Our first one being right there. Just a shallow target. And another one just off to the side there. Once again, another shallow target. 2 that we're going to be able to hit on with the pinpointer. So let's just clear away that a bit. As I said, we're just going to hit on them straight with the pinpointer, and they may not even need digging. We're going to be able to locate them anyway. Well, there you go, I kicked him out. Kicked him well out of the hole. Bottle top for that guy. I said everything is shallow at this site because of it being ploughed up and cropped and harvested every year. Another bottle top maybe, or a coin. That's a coin. And that is quite the coin too, because that is our first silver coin. Little sixpence. I'm certain of it. Let's give him a clean up. Who knows, there could even be a gold sovereign here. From memory, we are digging around a 35-36 for a gold half sovereign, and a 50 on the Equinox 900 for a full sovereign. So trust me, I am keeping my eye out for those numbers. Our next one is a 1950 cracker sixpence. He doesn't look all that great just at the moment. However, he's got some good detail there, and he will clean up nicely once home. So a little bit later, this guy. Remember, the earliest coins that we've found so far have been over sort of that way. So as you come in the gate, they're directly in the front of the gate. Walking over this way, where I presumed the rifle club was, and where Mick just mentioned, yes, you're right, mate, the rifle club was over in the corner here, or over right in front of this row of sugar gums. So we are sort of getting over to the later coins over here, aren't we? So dating back to, I dare say, dating back to the rifle range, whereas I'm thinking, the earliest coins have come out from over there, so maybe the racecourse, maybe the runway and the start-finish line was over that side. Maybe we're hitting on the later coins here. Maybe the early stuff's going to be over the back there. There's something for us to suss out though. This is a huge site, and one that I'm sure that we're going to be able to get back to time and time again. And we especially need to keep an eye on this stubble, because when this stubble's gone, I have plans to put the big 15-inch coil on, and we are going to grid this whole site because I really think it's worth it. So anyway, let's keep going through the stubble with the 6-inch coil, plucking out those silver coins. Here is our next one, a 7072 once again. Another ramhead shilling. Imagine that, 3 in one day. I don't think I've ever done that. I know I've done 2 in one day. I know I've done 4 florins in one day. I don't think I've ever done 3 ramhead shillings. As I said, they are a lot rarer, or what I find anyway, than the florins. So you pull sixpences, threepences, pennies, even the old florin, you pull them, most weeks. But to find the ramhead shillings, it can be a bit of a battle. You really do have to work for them. Do we have to work for this guy? Not very hard. That is awesome. 5 little threepences now. I'm pretty sure that is the 5th. So, and another coat of arms. Let's just remove that bit of grass there. In fact, let's pick up the coin. It might be even better. Let's see if we can get a date. Oh, there we go. 1910, which is the first year that Australia started minting its own currency here in Australia. So 1910, and that puts us at our oldest little silver coin, our oldest coin in general for today. And there we go, we're sitting right behind what used to be the old rifle range. And not to say this guy was not in circulation though, a lot later, and dropped, and that's the reason he's here. I've spent all my time on the right hand side today as you walk through the gate, so I really want to, as I said, get over to that other side where I think the racecourse may have also sat, or there may be some coins over there too. You've got to check these things out, you just never know. So no little threepence into the pouch. We are killing it on the silver today, aren't we? Well, we've been all over the map for our next target, and that's okay because I do think it's going to be another silver coin. However, it is heating up quite a bit, so I am trying to stay within under the shade here. Funnily enough, as I said, we're at our next nice sounding target. I said I'm chasing those high signals today, trying to suss out this site, and that is exactly one of those signals that I'm chasing. We also have one over here. You can see there he's falling above the 50 range, so it's got my attention once again. Most of everything I've dug today has been around the sort of 45, 50 and upwards. So you can see there that I had a hole opened up previously here before when I had that 11-inch coil on too. So it would have been an area that I swung over. I remember we were walking in this direction too, so we probably walked straight over these two targets and did not even hear them. There is so much other stuff in the ground here, as you can hear. So look, let's go after that guy at the back there first, the 50, because he's a pretty simple one. I do think that's going to be a coin. I'm not going to hedge my bets on this one being a coin. Sounds more to me like a bottle top, but I could be wrong. Let's have a bit of a stab with the shovel. Hope I didn't hit anything. Sounds like I did then. Oh, awesome, awesome. That there is a fantastic little suspender belt buckle, or a little buckle I should just say. That is so cool though, and they generally have Paris written on them, or they'll have a date. This guy I'm thinking may have a date. Oh no, even better. He's the Cross Sword brand. So there we go, these are quite rare. I remember finding a few of these years ago, and a few buttons with the same design, a Cross Sword pattern, and I did a bit of research, and to be honest I can't remember what I come up with. Sword make. But I think they were for memory issued, military issued little suspender buckles, which makes sense because we do have a military base from World War II just down the road. So he should either say solid on this side, or a date, or Paris, but this one being a Cross Sword make little buckle. I don't remember what they do actually say on the other side. So that is just a great little piece. So can you see that little emblem there? The sword make design, or the Cross Sword design I call it. Quite a rare one at that. So that is a great little find. Not a coin, but even better, a little belt buckle, a little suspender buckle I should say. Do we have the pinpointer on? Yes we do. Let's go after this next one. Oh, deep guy. Right, let's pinpoint him, because we're not going to find him with the pinpointer. We'll have to use the detector. Right there. So there we go, we're right hovering over him. Oh, we just had to go down that bit further, didn't we? Let's get the shovel. Let's dig out what I presume is going to be our next coin. Fingers crossed. Well, there we go. That's not a coin shape. It's a bit of nothing. Just a bit of scrap brass, but it did sound good. So I was a little bit jinxed with that one. I thought that was a coin, thought that was rubbish. That turned out to be something good. Instead, the rubbish was second runner up. So awesome stuff. Let's keep going. Let's find that florin. So I tell ya, I had no clue coming out here today what really to expect. You know, it's an old race course, so I had all the high hopes in the world. However, I thought today it might have just been a lot of walking around, sniffing out the ground, you know, trying to work out where we needed to be. However, we parked the car over the back there, we walked through the gate here, we went straight over to the right hand side, and bingo, we hit on the old rifle club badge. And not only that, we hit on that run of silver coins. And trust me, I had to work for them. I was walking in and out of the paddock there from the sugar gum plantation, and really working hard through this long stubble that we've got here, the old crop. Just walking over here though, we are going to finish up very soon, and I wanted to walk over to the left hand side here and see what else it contained, see if that occupation and the flow of coins continued on. Well, I tell you what, we've been over here for all of 5 minutes, and I tell you what, I'm not surprised to say we have our next silver coin. I didn't even think it was going to be a silver coin either. He was spiking around, you know, with a high tone, jumping around at the 70 range there, but he had a lot of low grunty iron hiding in around him too. So we picked up the iron. You can actually see a bit of the rust in the dirt where a lot of that iron sheeting was laying. We picked up the iron though, and we still had that high signal there, didn't we? So we swing back over, we pinpointed him, and we've got ourselves another little threepence. As I said, I'm not surprised. And there we go, a 1942 or 43, that guy. He's a little bit hard to read. We do need to clean him up. We are going to get out of here soon, and we will do that once home a little bit better. Clean up all our coins. Oh, there we go, I was wrong. He's a 1943. And everything coming out today has been in absolute ripper condition. Just amazing. So I absolutely love it. Any day you go out hunting and you get one silver coin is a great day. Any day you go out hunting and you get what? 2 ramhead shillings, 6 little threepences, and a sixpence and a penny and a badge. Wow, we've done good. So we're going to continue on a little bit further. We've got a little bit more to go, and I want to continue seeing if not only that we can find the florin, but if the run of occupation and the run of coins continues on that away. This site is so random, hey. You just walk along, you get nothing for about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, that. Which, look, most of those signals today have been coins, silver coins. And what you didn't see there either, the next row over, we've sort of, as I said, been going back and forth out into the paddock, back into the tree line, and just a little bit further over there, about 5 metres away, we hit on another sixpence, didn't we? So we're getting rich today. We are doing amazing. Oh, that was a bit close. Left hand stab. I hope I didn't hit my target. What is it? Oh, now that is a great piece. That is an awesome piece. That's part of the old oil burners, I'm pretty sure, or part of the old gas burners, I should say, not oil burners. I've found a couple of these before in the past. 100% that's what it is. And they'd have the little tips here. The little burners would come out each side there, and the gas would feed in through the bottom. So, excuse me, that is an awesome piece. That is a great piece. They generally have maker's marks, manufacturer's maker's marks written on them too. Let's zoom in so you can see a little bit better. I can't see any just yet. He's a little brass piece though, and he will be a great piece. Or maybe we got something shining through there. He will be a great piece to put through the tumbler though, because he will come up quite nice and we'll be able to read. All that dust is going up my nose, off my pants. We'll be able to read exactly what that says a lot better. No doubt made in Sheffield, England, where a lot of this stuff come from early days. The demand was here in Australia, but the supply wasn't. So it had to come from somewhere else. So a lot of these pieces are made in England, brought out here into Australia. So it's definitely not a piece of rubbish. It's not a coin, but it's certainly not trash. One to clean up, as I said, once we get home with the tumbler. Well, we've had a great day, haven't we? We do need to start packing up and getting out of here soon. What I will just show you quickly though, is I had a bit of an idea. What you did not just see on camera, let me zoom in. I had a bit of an idea to go for a bit of a walk. I don't mind walking and sussing these things out. And I walked all the way down to those big old pine trees that you can see there. And the reason being is because I know that the old train station used to sit down there. So on race day, you imagine where the horses come from. They would have come from the train station, from all around the district. They would have got loaded off or unloaded on the train station there, and they would have come in. There was an old road that's non-existent now, but they would have come from the train station down the old road and entered into the racecourse paddock here. So I did just wander right down the back there, see if see if there was anything to find, and to be honest, nothing. So we're back up this way. It does pay to check these things out though, so who knows, we could have hit on a horde of gold sovereigns. Who would be laughing then? So we've got our last target, as I said. We are going to finish up on this guy. He is in the rough once again. We'll clear all that stuff out of the way. He's probably going to be, judging by the numbers, 72, 73. Probably going to be another little threepence. So that'd be what, 6 or 7 or 8 or 28, I don't know. We've just found so many. It's like that day we were hunting the school there the other week at the old school site, cleaning up with the EQUINOX 900, and we hit on 11 sixpences. There he is right there. Look at that. We just cracked the dirt open. We've got our signal. No need to keep digging. Let's give you a bit of a zoom in and a bit of a look-ski. That is awesome. 8, 9 little threepences. I don't know. We have just killed it today, and that is what's going to finish us up too. So an early coat of arms, this guy. Let's give him a clean up like we've done the rest. I'm going to have to put these jeans in the wash when I get home. They are extremely dirty. Now, brand new clean this morning. So there is a 1926 little threepence, a coat of arms Australia threepence. We've only got 2 of the later type designs today, the wheat threepences. So that is just awesome, and that also will be 92.5% silver. So a magnificent little silver coin to find. And one more for the end of year collection, end of year tally. I tell you what, I reckon we're up near the 100 silvers already for this year. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to shoot a video in the back room very soon and show you exactly what we've pulled out. And if some have been staying tuned to my videos this year, cleaning up with the Equinox 900, we certainly have been doing just that. It is just killing it, especially with that little 6-inch coil. So anyway guys, no florin here today. I'm sure there's one hiding out here somewhere. He's going to be out in the middle of the paddock, somewhere about there. I don't know, but I'm sure there's going to be one here for us. We just need to get back and work it a little bit further. So, and that's what we'll do in future. Anyway, home time now. Pack up the gear. We'll catch you there. Hold up, hold up. This sometimes happens in my videos. As we're making our way back to the car, we happen to get a nice high signal. Remember, we're still chasing that florin. Well, it's not a florin, however, it is another silver coin before we get out of here. And that is our hat trick right there, 3 shillings. However, the last 2 have been ramhead shillings. I can see George on the back of this one. It means he's going to be an early type. Oh, isn't that magnificent? There we go. That is what's finishing off us off for today. We did also get another little wheat threepence there before, which I did not film because I was just getting out of here. This big high signal though, it pulled me up in my tracks, and pulling me out of the ground, I tell you what, it's not a coin that I could miss on camera. A 1916 1 shilling. Otherwise, when I get home and I show you this coin, you'll wonder where it come from. So there we go, 1916 1 shilling, a cracker coin, and that is worth 12 pence. That's a half the value of a florin. 3 shillings that we've got here today, we've got over our florin, haven't we? So that is awesome. Our last target, and I mean it. Now we're getting back to the car and we're getting out of here. We will catch you at home. So welcome back there guys. We have you in the back room of the house, and we're ready to take you through a look at what we did hunting there the other week. I will not say today because that would be a lie. It's been about a week on, and I've been flat out. I have not had a chance to finish up this video. So here we go. Let's get into it. We've got 16 silver coins coming out from the racecourse that day. I'll try and hold the camera as steady as I can. A 1952 ramhead shilling, a 1946 ramhead shilling, and a 1916 early type design. What a cracker. 3 shillings in a day is quite rare. 3 sixpences though is not, and we've got 3 below, 1950, a 1951, and a 1943 for Denver. Or sorry, I should say little d is for Denver. That would make more sense. Then we have the run of threepences. Now as you can see there, we've got 10 lined up in a row, which is just amazing. 4 of them being the wheat stalk designs, and 6 of them being the early type coat of arms Australian design. It's just amazing. So not only that, we only got the 1 rue penny, 1941 Australian rue penny. And it's just funny though, like 16 silver coins to 1 rue penny. The odds are, the odds are certainly off there, aren't they? It's nearly unheard of. Generally, you get about 16 pennies to 1 silver. A couple of little buckles there, the cross sword design, and we'll take you over. We'll avoid the badges just yet. A little bit of information on those, and we'll take you over to share the old gas burner tips. And now these are pretty cool, and this is the one that we found on the left here that I'm holding, and the one on the right is another one that I had. Whoops, we've just lost one of the tips. But you can see there 28 litres written on that side, and it says Braze Alta or Braze Luda pattern and RD, which is probably registered basically patent design. So pretty cool old pieces. The gas would have run straight up through the guts there and ran up each side and basically filtered out about 28 litres, I presume, an hour. I'm not quite sure, but 28 litres there written on him, and pretty cool pieces. So now the badges. Let me take a breath. We've got an ACPTSA. Let me hold the camera a bit steady. ACPTSA, and it stands for Australian Clay Pigeon Target Shooting Association. Quite the mouthful, isn't it? And we've got the 2 crossed over rifles there with the little clay target getting thrown out into the centre. I think it's just a fascinating piece. And when I was 14, that was one of my first jobs. I had to load the clay targets at my local gun club. Every second Sunday of the month, I would go up there, and my brother had the same job, that I had it. Even my sister did it, and we'd go up there and we'd do about 6 hours in the bunker. We'd be paid $40 for the 6 hours, and when I was 13, 14, that was a lot of money. and you'd load the clay targets all day long onto the mechanised arm, the machine. And the old guy would sit there outside the bunker, and when someone yelled pull, he'd hit the button and it would send the signal through to the mechanised arm, and it would throw the projectile off. So not how this would have been done. These probably were thrown off manually, maybe not with a mechanised machine. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't much fun as a 14-year-old kid either, because a lot of the clay targets, that guy used to hit the button a lot earlier than, when I was ready to even put the next target on. So you'd put one on, it would fly off, and these arms were serious too. You didn't want to get hit by one of these arms. It would take your face out, not to mention really hurt your hand. And I got hit that many times. It was a bit silly, really, and no RHS safety back then. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about the next piece, ACTA, referee. Now, some will remember this piece, and I pulled it out and I thought, well, it looks interesting enough. He had a bit of writing on him, so it took my interest straight away, and it had me intrigued. Putting him through the tumbler, we can see ACTA, referee, and that stands for Australian Clay Target Association referee. So we've got the ACTA referee badge, and we've got the ACPTSA badge, Australian Clay Pigeon Target Shooting Association. Oh, wow, that's a mouthful. Anyway, guys, that is about it. We've had a cracker of a week. We hit on the race course there. We also have some following videos to come, and I'm not going to give away too much. However, we've had some amazing success around the race course there. In the coming weeks, as I said, we're going to share these videos. And not to mention, we found an old house site at the back of the race course, which we're going to get to next week, or in the coming weeks, as I said. And it's fascinating. We've got some fascinating stuff coming out from there, and you're going to love it. So anyway, guys, that is about it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and follow me for future. And I hope to see you next time. Cheers and happy hunting.